Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori Brame and this is Holy City Mystic. So today we are going to be continuing on the retrogrades in the birth chart series, and we are going to talk about Saturn. So Saturn retrograde in a birth chart, what that means, what it looks like, different things that you might experience if you have that in your chart, and let's get to it. So first of all, what is Saturn? Saturn is responsibility. It is structure. It is, it's really heavy. Like, it's a very heavy planet. So it's the planet of karma. It's father time. It's like all these things. It's basically your story being played out in front of you. So one of the biggest transits of your life is your Saturn return. And, you know, if you're lucky enough to have multiple, 3, maybe even 4, if you're a centennial, then you get to experience this several times. So when you have Saturn retrograde in your birth chart, it's kind of this idea of Saturn being a part of your psyche. Saturn not just being the outside forces that move the story forward. So that's back to the Saturn return. Sorry, this is kind of patchwork. With your Saturn return, one thing that you'll probably experience are forces outside you, outside of your control, moving your story forward. So a lot of people between 28 and 30, they get married, they have a kid, have a big career jump, they have a big move, maybe they lose a parent, finish school, they could there's just a lot of things that happen between 28 and 30 during most people's Saturn return, where an external force moves the story forward. So when Saturn is internalized in your birth chart, when it is retrograde in your birth chart, one thing that you might experience are Saturn themes being more a part of your personality. Instead of that outside force, it's more of an internal force. So fear is a big Saturn thing. Being overly cautious could be one of the main personality traits that you have. Overthinking things, being very careful around things. Also very intelligent, a very acute mind, very eager to learn, not just to learn, but to learn everything, to learn the structure, to learn bottom up everything about something. Now, with Saturn having so much to do with authority, there is a component of authority that is probably flipped growing up. Like, you had to parent a parent, or you were not able to rely on the people raising you in the way that you felt that you needed. And so there were parts of you that had to become more responsible, where you kind of had to raise yourself. Another thing that could be a key component is going through things twice. You know, having a sense of what you need to be and having to take a couple swings at it, having to try it more than once to be able to accomplish this thing. Again, with Saturn retrograde, you think about all those qualities being more integrated into the personality. These people can have a propensity for depression. And since Saturn is retrograde, again, for a good portion of the year, a lot of people have this in their birth chart. So since Saturn is the Lord of Time, one of the things that you might experience are things being delayed in life. So, you know, learning to walk later is a small one that might happen in infancy, versus much larger ones. You might not get a degree until you're 35. You might not own a home until you're 45, you know, where all your siblings, all your friends are owning homes much earlier. So another thing I want to mention, when Saturn is retrograde in the sky, that is when your story starts moving forward. So a lot of people, when Saturn goes retrograde and their Saturn in their birth chart is direct, one thing that will probably happen for them is they'll feel like their life is kind of on pause, like they're going back over things that they already did, like things that they already worked on, and they're reevaluating and re-looking at everything. And then when it goes direct again, they're like, oh, good, my life is moving forward again. With you, your life starts to move forward at a much more rapid pace when Saturn is retrograde in the sky. So if you guys have any experiences, if you guys have any stories that you want to share with me, I'm very interested to hear how that's going, what it's like for you to have Saturn retrograde in your birth chart, and I hope you guys take care. Bye.